What's up, guys? RP Swag here with another deck profile. This time Gravekeeper deck. When I first started playing this game, probably like 8 months ago, I haven't been playing that long. Gravekeepers was the first competitive, I guess, deck that I built. It's a good deck, and I feel like now that this format's slower because you don't lose first turn to Insectors or Windups anymore, this deck can really do well this format with Necro Valley hurting so many of the meta decks. So, yeah, let's get into it. 2 commandants. I only run 2 partially because I couldn't really find the third one when I was trying to look through all my stuff to rebuild this. But now that I playtested with 2, you really only need 2. A lot of the times it's just dead in your hand because you have another Necro Valley by the time you draw into another one. And if you really need it that bad, you can search it with Recruiter. But I would pretty much rather have any of the other ones in my hand, top deck, other than this one, just because most of the time I'll have a Necro Valley. 3 Spies, obviously special the deck, best card, 2500 wall with Necro Valley on the field, and it's really good. 3 Recruiters, most abusable card, you just pop it with Descendant, you can let it die on purpose, you can Torrential with it on the field, it's a floater, gets you whatever you need. 2 Descendants, you only need 2, 3 would get too clogged yet because I don't run an Allure, and you can search it with the Recruiter if you're missing one. I run a Guard over an Assailant because Assailant's effect, although it's good, like, you know, if you need to get over a Shien, like, because that card's a pain in the butt for this deck, but Assailant only works if there's a Necro Valley on the field. So if not that, if you don't have that, that card's just 15 vanilla. But this one is always a compulse, and 1900 defense is always good, and with Necro Valley on the field, it's 2400, which is even good. And I run this one more so especially because I run a Tsukiyomi. This card is unfair in this deck. Obviously, you can reuse the Guard, like I just said. They attack into it, bounce their monster back. You summon this, you set this, flip this back up, and then you bounce their other monster back up, and then you can just attack directly. Or, you know, you can just abuse the shit out of Spy. When they attack into it, you special. Same thing, just get another special. 1 Malefic Stardust, obviously pretty staple in Gravekeepers. I mean, it's good field presence to have, it's easy to get out. 2500 beats and it protects Necro Valley. And then I'm running 2 Effect Failures. I think I'm running 15 monsters. Obviously you want to keep your monsters low because you run Royal Tribute, which is your win condition. I might throw in a Max C. I kind of want to, but I just don't know what I would take out at this point. So for spells, 3 Necro Valley. Obviously it's Necro Valley. 2 Royal Tributes, like I said, win condition of the deck. 2 Stells, it helps you recycle what you might have to discard for Tribute, or, you know, just recycle the Recruiters that you popped with Descendant, and then just re-plus yourself. Wonder Wand, for those of you that don't know, this was, I don't know why you would run this deck without this card. I can understand why some people run it at 1, sometimes it's dead, but I find myself more so like, dang, if I drew a Wonder Wand right now, I'd plus like crazy. It's just really good. You equip it to anything, it gives it 500 attack, or you can just equip it to Recruiter, send them both, you get to draw 2 cards and then search off Recruiter. So if you flip the Spy and you grab the Recruiter, this is only, it's a -1 from the hand to play this, but then it gets you a plus 3 because you draw 2 and search. So it's a net +2 just from this card by itself. So it's a good card to run in this deck. Staples, kind of, obviously Dark Hole. 2 dualities for consistency, Book of Moon for Spy and Guard, and for my opponent's monsters, this makes their Effect Failure miss a target for my Spy. 2 MSTs, I feel like you do need to run MSTs in this deck, even though Descendant pops everything, because you need to make sure that the Descendant can hit the field, so this is what pops the warnings, or the torrentials, or the bottomless, or whatever else. And then I do main a Prohibition, mostly because at my locals, you know, obviously if I went to regionals or something like that, this might come out, or when I go to regionals, this might come out. But for now, at my locals, I pretty much know what I'm going to play as soon as I sit across from them. And if not, at the very least, I can just Prohibition Heavy Storm, because I don't run one. So, yeah. And it's MST bait, so it gets their MSTs off my Necro Valley and my other ones to pop their Prohibition. For traps, Judgment, Bribe, and Starlight. I feel like I was running 2 Starlights, but then I took one out for the bride because a lot more people are realizing that a lot of people are running 2 Starlights, and they're being more aware of that. So they're having their warnings ready, you know, to counter the Starlight or, you know, whatever it may be. But this is also a counter trap, so it's faster than Starlight, and this can negate not only destruction of 2 or more cards, but just things that you don't want to happen anyway. Card destruction, stuff like that for Dark Worlds. So that would help. I run 3 Magic Cylinders. Now that this card's at 3, it's a win condition by itself. I mean, I didn't run this, obviously, last time I built this deck, I didn't run this because it wasn't as deadly, I feel like. But now, say my opponent runs 3 MSTs, they're going to use those on my 3 Necro Valleys. And then all this back row's free. So say they do get rid of my MST, they finally summon out that BLS, the Light Pulsar, the Red Eyes, whatever they do, and they think they're going to kill my Descendant. They swing, and instead they just take the damage, and it saves my monster for a turn. Next turn I play the Necro Valley that I have in my hand, and then I just pop their stuff. So this card saves your stuff for a turn, and you know it's a win condition by itself, which is why I run it. 1 Torrential, I only think I need to run 1. You don't really want to do this ever unless you don't have any monsters, or unless you just have a recruiter, because when your when your spies and your descendants are on the field, you kind of want to keep them there. And then just 2 bottomless, because they're bottomless. So that's it for our main deck. Side deck I'm still kind of playing around with, but this is what I'm going with for now. The other 2 Prohibitions, like I said in my last video, I try to side these in most of my decks. I mean, it's a 1-card answer for every deck out there. You can call whatever you want with this, so I feel like it's pretty good, this format. 2 Royal Prisons, essentially for Dark Worlds. Again, like I said, it's a hard matchup because Royal Tribute, which would normally be my win condition, instead would just make me lose instantly if I played that and hit some of their cards. So I'll side those out for Royal Prisons because this stops Beige, Gold, Silva, and Grapha from coming back because they hit the graveyard first, obviously. So that helps with that matchup. 2 Trap Stuns. I don't run that many traps. I think I main like 9. So if I'm playing TG Stun or anti-meta decks or anything like that, I can, you know, take those or put those in. 1 Deck Devi. It's good against a mirror match. It's good against Black Wings. It's good against, you know, Exodia, Final Countdown. Pretty much a lot of decks in the meta. Oh, Wind-Ups and Insectors. It hits both of those pretty good, so that card helps a lot. 2 Chain Disappearance for Insectors, for Wind-Ups, Rescue Rabbit, whatever else. A 2nd Starlight, in case I play a deck with Heavy Destruction. 1 Compulse. I kind of want to main this because it combos really well with Royal Tribute, obviously. I just compulse their boss monster back to their hand, and then I would just Royal Tribute it. I mean, I'm running 40 cards. I can probably fit this in if I want, but I'm going to try and run 40 cards because I need to get Royal Tribute to the hand as fast as I can. 2 Cyber Dragons, because I can side in Chimera attacks, and it's just a good thing to bait out the bottomless or use the Thunder King or whatever else. And then finally, just a tech is 2 Silver Sentinels. And I feel like I side these in most games, game 2, and they've won me a few games because first game when they lose swinging into a Magic Cylinder, it's going to irritate them a lot. So they're going to side in, you know, their Lilas, their Raikos, their Dust Tornadoes, their 3rd MSTs, whatever destruction they have. And then they're going to pop these instead. And then they're going to feel dumb, and then I'm going to special it at end phase because it gets around Necro Valley and then destroy something on their side of the field. So this has won me a lot of games. This helps out a lot. And it's a 4-star, so I don't exceed very often, but I mean I can because it's 4-star. I can exceed with Spy, with Descendant, with Guard, Command It, any of that stuff I need. Extra deck right now, I'm still kind of playing around with it. I don't know exactly what I want to do with it yet. And I need to get more stuff because I just built this deck, but 1 Zen mains, I can only make that with recruiters, and I never do because I need the pluses from recruiters, but that's just like if I'm in a pinch. 1 Marrowgeist, this card's really good. You can look to see what you're going to destroy, so if you attack into a Sangan, you can just send it back into the deck instead of sending it to the graveyard so it doesn't get its effect. It's good against the mirror match if you attack into a recruiter. Yeah. 2 Zenmeisters. Obviously, I can take one of these out for my stroke, but I'm letting my friends use one, so I just run 2. Good with guard, good with spy, yada. 2 Utopias, it's a 4-star, might as well. I need to get my hands on some Shark Drakes, Shockmaster, obviously once the price isn't ridiculous anymore, because I can kind of combo it really well with this deck, and I can pull those things out. But just for now, I just built this deck. Photon, whatever the last word is, but I just call it Butterfly Assassin. Really good against Spirit Reaper, because as soon as it's targeted, the effect has to resolve whatever targets Spirit Reaper, but then it'll just die. So then you can just attack 2100. Gemini Pearl just for the beats if I need it. And then for Synchros, Magical Android for Chain Burn, because I'll just gain the stuff back. Iron Chain, I do it because it makes them mill, and then their stuff just stays in the grave because Necro Valley's in the field and they can't remove it. Ancient Fairy for the field spell effect. Black Rose, Scrap, Stardust. I need to find my other Stardust. I traded like 4 of my extra ones away, but I need to get them back again, obviously, because I run Starlight and Malefic. And then just one Mistworm. And yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Rate, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you think.